How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So EDC here yet again, but I'm gonna take this video at a different approach than normal. Typical EDC videos are gonna share with you all the kind of, hey, this is what I'm doing. I kind of want to take it as, here's the items that I integrate and they work together well for me. I choose a lot of these items to make my life everyday wise easier. And maybe that's kind of the information that you guys are interested in. Maybe not the specific like, oh, I carry chapstick or I carry this lighter. But how does all of this work together and mesh together? That's the kind of the information that I imagine some of you are interested in. So that's what we're going to dive into, is how does this system work together, including a pew-pew that we will talk about in the future later on in this video, because YouTube doesn't like that kind of stuff. So let's dive into it. Why do I carry two knives? As you see right here, I carry a pocket knife and a Leatherman tool, which ultimately the Leatherman P4, or the free P4, what this is, honestly covers down on everything. I don't even need to carry this knife. So why would I carry the extra weight and deal with it in a way? Because you can easily just, pull out, here's a saw, or you flip it over, and there's a normal blade, or pull out this side and there's a serrated. So this has many more things than this does. Why? Well, it's because this one's typically easier to get to. This is a Salt 2 and H2 steel, just testing it out like I do every year. I try a new pocket knife out, but this one's always easier access to get to. This is a typical kind of a beater blade in essence, is what I use it for. And it's just for those everyday tasks, everything, cutting cordage, boxes, paper, whatever it is, as in like stupid stuff like that. But for myself being military, there's another expanded EDC off of this as well I might get into. But being military and whatnot, I typically use this blade as my nice blade, or my food blade. That this is properly kept, and it's always, I put alcohol on it to disinfect it. I clean it very well. And that's kind of like the dedicated nice blade, and this is my beater, which granted, of course, all the same reasons as you have a multi-tool, right? It has all the equipment and items on it that work out fairly well. I'm not going to go into details. Everybody knows what multi-tools do for you because they excel in that very well. Next, I always have, funny enough, is these Tozo earbuds. And no, I'm not sponsored. It's just funny enough as everybody thinks that I am. It's just, I just randomly bought these off of Amazon and they worked out really, really well. They're like $30 and they almost do the same thing as the Apple ones for $200. I could care less if I really lose these because I have like 2 or 3 pairs of these and they're rechargeable and all that kind of stuff. They're noise canceling though, super cool. Use these on airplanes all the time. Honestly, like years I have used these and they're cheap. So ultimately if I lose them, they're whatever. These things are a steal in my opinion, is what it is. If you like yours, just go ahead and buy whatever brand you like. I just like the Tozo ones because they work for me. Use them all the time. Next, going on to keys. Okay, so the only notable thing on the keys in a way, there's 2 things. One is a separator. It's kind of like a barrel lock. One is you can hand your keys off, but retain the sensitive keys, like maybe your safe or your house or your mailbox, stuff like that. Oil change wise, you hand this off and go, hey, here's my vehicle keys, but you're not giving up the sensitive stuff, right? Other notable thing is this titanium pry bar, super cool. I use it for things that I'm not gonna abuse my knives with. This is a titanium bar, so you can really crank on this thing for other things, like opening up the backs of magazines or something that you're worried about the tip snapping off on your knife. This is a really easy tool and fairly nice that it works out fairly well. I don't even know if you can get these anymore, probably somewhere, but it just is what it is. That's what I use it for. A lighter, I actually carry a Zippo, but this has the butane insert in it. So you can just pull it out. It's not a traditional Zippo because I find that they just lose Zippo fluid over time. But this one is pretty good. This is a double burner, not a single, because it has like, double the amount. Cool thing in the bottom, you can regulate it, how much gas and stuff is coming out. And especially if you go to different environments, like altitude wise and stuff like that, or it's just different seasons, sometimes this won't light. So you can adjust the burner on here. So it'll light in pretty much any conditions. And then it's just kind of nice. It's like my fidget spinner in a way that I can just kind of mess with it in my pocket over and over again. I like orange too. As you can see, orange is kind of a trend, mainly so if I drop it on the ground, you can find it. Same with my pen and stuff like that, which this is a Write in the Rain pen. Man, this thing is abused. This has been in my pocket and I've been using it for years. This is the same pen that you have saw in all the EDCs prior. I added the pocket clip to it, and it's like a Fisher Space Pen, but it's the Write in the Rain edition because I use Write in the Rain stuff for my military job quite a bit. Simple chapstick, pretty nice, right? Nothing, no big deal there. I do have 2 wallets. Mainly one is my LEOSA credential for a law enforcement officer, which is really nice as I can carry in all 50 states. Pretty nice that I can literally go around. So I carry that on me, especially when I carry my weapon system, which we'll get to in a little bit. Galaxy 22 Ultra, really good phone, 4K, 8K. It takes, you know, really good photos and stuff like that. It works out really well. I like this phone. It's kind of older, I guess, a couple years older generation, but it works extremely well. It is what it is. Moving on to the watch. The watch is a Marathon G-SAR. I've been wearing this for probably about 6 months now. Really awesome mechanical watch. I have a dedicated video on this, so not going to really talk about it too much. It is an amazing, awesome watch, especially for the military. I can abuse this thing. It is just a day, or it's just date and time. Literally, that's all it's doing. Rubber band, which has really nice grip. I like it. It's really good for getting wet, and then it dries very quickly, but it's excelling. I typically wear Garmin watches too. The Garmin Instinct 2X, awesome watch, and then the Tactic 7 is also a really good watch, but I've just been gravitating to this more often. If I run or I'm doing athletic things, this will come off and I'll go to a Garmin so it can track, you know, how far I ran, stuff like that. But pretty much always, this watch is almost always on me. And even if I do wear the Garmin will go on my right and this will go on my left. Yes, I guess I'm a nerd. It is what it is. Ridge wallet, super nice. I've been using this thing forever. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in there. Yes, I have a lot of cards. Fresnel lens, I just have one that's really beat up and abused. It has been in here for years. Just another way to kind of create and make fire. Awesome flashlight. Here's my EDC flashlight that I prefer. This is a Streamlight ProTac 1L1AA. Really quick, the benefits of it is it takes 3 different battery cells. CR123s will run this thing, AA's will run this thing, and AAA's. So whatever pretty much you have on hand, send it. This thing will light up. You can put rechargeables in here, which is super cool. That's what I typically do. And the reverse pocket clip, right? So you can go down with it or over the back, or if you have a baseball cap, this can be a headlamp. So it covers down on pretty much everything EDC for myself. Now, there's typically 2 tourniquets that I carry. I typically carry, this one is my kind of ultra light. This is the Stake Staff Solutions or Stake Staff Systems or whatever it is. This one is really lightweight and tiny, which is really nice. This disappears very easily in the pocket, and I will carry this if I cannot carry the Soft T wide. I think this is their Gen 4, if I recall. Super thin. That's why I like it. Both of these tourniquets are extremely thin. They slide into pockets very easily, which is why I typically carry this over a cat. Even though I carry these and a cat on my operational kit, like my plate carrier and stuff. This is an aluminum rod and stuff too, so kind of beneficial. If I have the pockets, I will carry a trauma kit, which this is just a tiny mini trauma kit that I've done a video on. I've made it myself. It literally just lives in my cargo pockets at work for my military uniform, or if I'm wearing, you know, some type of pants that have a larger pocket. Gauze, quick clot, occlusive dressing, and then a small just bandage in general with some band-aids and some gloves. That's about it. Just something very simple that can patch up some holes, mainly because I carry a pew-pew on me, which we'll get to here in a second. And if you have a way to put holes in individuals, you should have a way to plug holes in individuals. Just my opinion. One of the last items is the belt. I take the Wazoo Cache belt. Really cool. I have been using this thing for years, and it is jammed packed, filled with little bits, because you can put stuff inside it all the way around here, like gold, cash, water purification tablets, you know, Kevlar twine, stuff like that. And I'll go over that in a separate video just because I don't want it to go too long. But yes, I carry a lot of stuff in this. It'll have its dedicated video. There's even a bottle opener in this, which is pretty cool right here. And then also it has a little compartment for a mirror, so you can, you know, signal and whatnot. But very cool. This thing has been abused. This belt has been used every single day since 2019. No joke. It has been on my pants. No other belt other than that one, and it is still holding up. It's fraying a little bit, but that's pretty dang good in my opinion. And I would highly recommend Wazoo. Again, no kickbacks on any of this stuff. Unless you buy them through the Amazon links, then I get a few cents for them. But if you don't want to help the channel, then yeah, no big deal. Okay, let's get into the pew pew really quickly. The last thing, which a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you carry that. And yes, it is an M18 in a T-Rex Arms sidecar. So M18 with a TLR1, which this is safe and clear just for YouTube folks or folks out there. But yes, this is the same identical pistol as what I carry in the military. And that is on purpose. That is because if I have to use, you know, a deadly force, or I get in a deadly force encounter, it will be more beneficial, I guess you could say, in court or something like that, as I am certified on this weapon system. And my military credential, or my LEOSA credential here, specifically states that this pistol is my primary weapon system. So therefore, same with the ammo, is almost identical and everything like that. So I can utilize this appropriately. Now, I train a lot with this. I typically train with the M17 before the M18 came out. I have 8,000 rounds on it, and I have several thousand rounds on this particular pistol. And if you look at the holster, it's actually the Gen 1. I didn't even upgrade to the Gen 2 yet. I carry the flush fitting magazine over here, right in the firearm. Of course, it would be topped off when I'm carrying it. Manual safety, of course. And then I carry the 21 rounder because it just adds an extra layer or extra ammunition. So this is typically what I am carrying. Now in the winter or in the summertime when it gets warmer, I typically go to a SIG P365 because it's smaller, and if I'm wearing shorts and something like that, it typically works out a lot better, just in my opinion. But majority of the time, at least a 3-season gun, this is what I'm carrying. And like I said, specifically certified on that weapon system on purpose. So yes, is there better carry guns out there? Yes, there are. There's smaller stuff that is more compact and it's more efficient and stuff. It's just I tend to go with this because it's what I'm familiar with, and I have the most amount of rounds. Granted, I have a lot more rounds on Glock 19, but this is what I carry in the military. That is what I'm carrying now. I want them to mix together. I want them to mesh, so there's no difference of carrying weapon systems. Not saying it's right. You can do whatever you want. It's just that's what I do. So yeah. So yeah, that's my EDC. Not much has honestly changed. The integration piece is still there. I still have like separate layers and kind of stuff like that. I might do my military in general. All of this stuff, excluding this pistol, will come with me. Sometimes LEOSA credential, it depends on what I'm doing. On duty, in essence, the job, but you know, it expands off of it as well. I might go into that to another video. But other than that, if you guys enjoyed this, want to purchase some of these items, and you do want to help the channel, I'll link as much as I can in Amazon affiliates. If you don't want to help the channel, then find some other way to purchase these items without using my links. Yeah, I'm not really too concerned. You do whatever you want. It's a free country, at least where I am. Still, hopefully. But other than that, hope you all have a great day.